You're pregnant. You just found out. You're so excited. You go to your partner and you ask them how they're feeling about it, what kind of things they've looked into, or if they're ready to become a dad. And they go, I don't know. I'm okay, I guess. It can feel really scary, especially if you want them to be your primary support. Let's talk about my 5 ways to get your partner involved in the preparation process for labor and birth. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a childbirth educator and a doula. Let's get into this thing. When you find out you're first pregnant, it is so exciting, or maybe you're scared, whether it was planned or not planned. Automatically, your brain is probably going, what do I need to get rid of? What do I need to stop eating? What do I need to stop drinking? And, oh, maybe I shouldn't do X, Y, and Z activity. We get super overwhelmed by the amount of information that is flooded to us as soon as we find out that we're pregnant. Everyone has opinions. Everyone has thoughts. Everyone, other than for some of us, our partners or our spouses. For some people, their partner is as excited, as invested in learning, and as ready to become the best version of themselves for their wife in labor. For others, this isn't the case. Their partner maybe has no idea where to start. Maybe they're as excited, but don't know how to help. And for even some still, they have no idea, even the expectations that their wife or their partner may have on them. So this is, for me, why I wanted to create this video, because this is a really important topic in my opinion. So let's get into it. Here are my top 5 ways to get your partner involved and ready for labor. First, attend a prenatal or a childbirth education course. This is going to spark things within yourself and within your partner that maybe you didn't know before. When we first found out we were pregnant with our first, we didn't realize that there was different stages of labor. We didn't realize that there were different phases of stage 1, which is the actual laboring part. So it's important to learn about labor, learn about what's going to happen, so that your partner or your spouse or your husband might have some questions, might be like, wow, what? How do we do this? And really spark interest for them. The best way to do that for most men is to actually have them attend something where they can have their hands-on experience with different things to help them learn how labor happens. And you could even plan a one-on-one with a local doula or one that you find on the internet to discuss your thoughts on labor, questions that you may have. That's a great way to get your partner started just looking into the process of labor and birth. Number 2, ask them how they feel about labor and birth. This is a really important step to take after you take a prenatal class, because before you take a prenatal class, which is the step number 1, if you ask this question before, most likely they're going to say, I don't know how I feel about labor and birth. Really, it's not their bodies that are doing the work. They don't think about it as much as you do, quite frankly, because it's not an impending marathon that they're gonna have to run. It's an impending marathon that you're gonna have to run. So asking them how they feel about labor and birth after taking a prenatal class is a great way to help digest that prenatal class and for them to actually bring up things that might have struck them in that class. Number 3, ask them how they feel about becoming a parent. This is such an exciting time in your life with this little being growing inside of you, and all of a sudden there's going to be a fully dependent human being on the outside that you are both going to have to take care of. So ask them how they're feeling about becoming a dad. This is a great way to help them start to think about the process that comes before they become a dad. Number 4, sit down with them, actually sit down with them and talk to them about your feelings, your fears, your expectations, and your thoughts about labor. If you're hoping for your husband or your spouse to be your primary support, it's good for them to know that before going into labor. Because if they are too nervous about it and don't think that they'd be able to support you in that way, that's something that's really important for you to know and to work through together as a couple. Talking about your fears will also help them to recognize that this is something that you have to do and something that the person that they love is going to go through. Labor's not an easy thing. It's not just a wake up, do it, get a baby out of it, and live la-di-da. It is a really intense physical event that occurs in your life. It is also a really intense, or can be a really intense, mental and emotional experience for both you and your partner. So to be able to say, I'm really scared about tearing, they may not have even thought about that as an outcome. Then you're able to have the conversation of, hey, I've been reading or I've been watching about short breaths during the Ring of Fire to help reduce tearing. I would love if you could remind me of that when I'm in labor, because all of a sudden they're now given a job. And men like to fix, men like to help be in control. So giving them things to do in labor and talking about them before labor is imminent is really important, so that they begin to want to look into it, want to understand what's going to happen and how they can support you. And finally, number 5, dream with them. Talk about all the exciting ways a baby is going to change your life. Often it's our husbands and the dads of our babies that feel disconnected. Unlike us, who feels that little one growing in our belly and we can feel them moving and we feel the nausea and we feel the aching, that doesn't change for our partners. They don't get a big belly. They are pretty much the same, other than some hormonal fluctuations and the fact that their loved one is changing. So it's good to get them involved. When baby moves, take dad's hand, put it on your belly, help him to feel the movement of his little baby that's growing inside of you. Help him and encourage him to talk to baby when you guys are going to bed at night. Encourage him to write letters to baby or whatever it is that's his love language. So if it's physical touch, get him to help feel the baby. If it's words of affirmation, get him to talk to the baby. If it's quality time, talk to the baby, sing to the baby. If it's gifts, take him shopping. Let him buy the baby gifts. Let him buy the baby the first outfit or the first toy. If it's acts of service, make sure that he comes with you to the appointments. These are all ways to get dad involved, to help him feel like he is also growing that baby, even though it's not changing his body. Now, these are only 5 ways, and there are so many more, but these are the 5 that I suggest that worked for me to help my husband become more invested in the birth of our children. Now, you don't have to do all 5 of these things, but I really suggest that you do them from start to finish in that order, the 5 things. Taking them to a prenatal or childbirth education class, asking them how they feel about labor and birth, asking them how they feel about becoming a parent, sitting down with them and talking about your feelings, your fears, your expectations, and then dreaming with them. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.